book lovers, my name's Victoria and welcome to My Books to Me. Today I will be doing my March book haul and I have to admit I may have a book buying problem. I set myself a limit of 10 books for March, thinking that's a nice fair amount to pick up a few books here and there. Well, let me break it to you. I bought 27 books and oh man are these heavy, so let's get into it before I break my arms, my back. The first book I got is Halo by Alexandra Adornetto. This is the first book in the Halo trilogy, and I'm not entirely sure where I first saw the book and the series, but I fell in love with the covers and the premise. So back when everyone was obsessed with vampires and all that jazz, I was obsessed with Fallen Angels, and I was reading the Fallen series and the Hush Hush series. So this has something in common with that. It isn't about fallen angels, just about angels in general. It is about 3 angels who are sent to the town of Venus Cove to help give it some magical boost. But they have to blend into society, and that means that the youngest angel, Beth, has to attend high school, and she is soon falling in love with the school captain, Xavier, and breaking one of the major rules of heaven, which is not to fall in love with angels. However, this is the least of the angels' problems when they find out that a new boy in town possesses his own magical ability and has his eyes set on Beth. The angels have to team up with Xavier to protect and save Beth, and in the ensuing battle she may or may not survive. It sounds really good and I can't wait to read it. The next and probably one of the most anticipated books of this entire haul is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I've seen this book everywhere. Everyone has said it is so good, and I've already started reading it and I literally can't wait to get into it more and finish it. Set in what I would assume is the dystopian future, it is about the Reds and the Silvers. The Silvers, who have silver blood, possess superpowers which makes them the elite in their society. The Reds are commoners and their life is literally living in poverty. However, Meyer, who is a Red, soon discovers she has her own deadly superpower, which is so rare because only Silvers possess these powers. So in order to protect themselves, the Silver King marries her off to his youngest son, and Meyer is soon trying to break down the Silver Regiment from the inside. It sounds so good and I can't wait to finish it. The next book I got is Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. I've been meaning to read this book ever since I found out that the Disney version is based off a book. For some reason, when I was a child, I believed that Disney was the creator of all these amazing movies. Little did I know that a majority of them are based off a story or fairy tale that someone else had created. So I've been wanting to read Peter Pan for ages, especially since I found out that this story is a lot darker than Walt Disney made it out to be. So I can't wait to read this and finally know the real story of Peter Pan and Tinkerbell. The next 2 books I got are volumes 1 and 2 of the Oz Complete Collection, and this contains the first 6 books. I bet you didn't know this, but there are 15 Wizard of Oz books. I absolutely love the Wizard of Oz movie. It is one of my all-time favorite. Movies. So I've been meaning to actually read the book, what I thought was just one book, for ages. I originally thought that maybe it was 1, 2, 3 books at most, but no, it's 15. I did start reading the first book, which is The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, way back in primary school, but because the book is so different to what the movie is, I couldn't get my little head around it, so I gave up. But I can't wait to get through these first 6 books and make my way through the rest. These 2 books contain The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, The Marvelous Land of Oz, and Ozma of Oz, as well as Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, The Road to Oz, and The Emerald City of Oz. And out of these 6 books, I think there are only 1 where Dorothy doesn't feature as the main character. So it's going to be a good read and I can't wait to escape into the world of Oz. The next book I got is The Selection by Kiera Cass. This is a book series that I have seen pretty much every booktuber owning and loving, so I thought I better get on the bandwagon and pick it up because it does sound really good. The Selection is about a girl called America Singer who has to compete in the selection to win the heart of Prince Maxon. However, America isn't even fazed by this. However, she soon finds herself falling for Maxon despite the fact that she never planned to. It sounds really good and I can't wait to get into this and the rest of the series. The next book that I got is You're the One That I Want by Giovanna Fletcher. I've been watching G's videos ever since she started doing regular vlogging and I've been meaning to read her books for ages because they do sound pretty darn good. And continuing on with the G Fletcher theme, the next book I got is Billy and Me. The next two books I got are The Magician's Nephew and The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. These are books 1 and 2 in the Chronicles of Narnia series. I absolutely love the movie series and I am desperately waiting for them to say that they are definitely releasing The Silver Chair because it has been up in the air and I just want another movie. I already actually own the entire Chronicles of Narnia series in this huge, bulky and annoying single bound edition. And while I like it, I sort of never feel like reading the books because as you can see, these books are only 200 pages at most and I feel so like it's kind of off-putting and overwhelming to be reading this book. And it's just annoying to sort of hold and read because it is so big and heavy. So I've been meaning to pick up like the entire series as single books. And then I discovered these beautiful covers and you will, if you just look up the rest of the series in these book covers, you will understand. And I just couldn't say no, so I thought I should better get around and just buy them all in the single editions. I've read the majority of The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe before, and I have started The Magician's Nephew before, but sort of haven't really dedicated enough time to get into the series and just to read it from start to finish. So hopefully now that I have the first two books, I can make my way through the series. The next book I got is Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi, I think that's how you say it. This is another book series that I have seen everywhere and that has got really great reviews, and I'm still not entirely sure what it's about. All I know is that Juliet has some power and the establishment has plans for her, but she has plans of her own, and it sounds really good and I absolutely love the covers in this entire trilogy, so I can't wait to read this. The next three books I got are Cinder, Scarlet and Ferris, which are books 1, 2 and 3.5 in the Lunar Chronicles series by Marissa Meyer. This is like the pinnacle of booktubing. If you have this book on your bookshelf and you read it and you love it, then you have made it. That's what I believe. Because this book has got amazing reviews and the premise of each book sounds absolutely amazing, and it is definitely the next book I will and they are definitely the next books I will read once I finish like the small pile of books I'm currently reading. These are modern dystopian retellings of some of our favourite fairy tales. Cinder is about Cinderella, Scarlet is about Little Red Riding Hood, the third book, Crez, is about Rapunzel, and Fairest is the backstory of Queen Lavanna, who is Mirror Mirror on the Wall. The next two books I got are Poison Study and Magic Study by Maria V. Snyder. I saw that Sasha, aka A Book Utopia, had hauled and was enjoying Poison Study in a recent video, and I knew I had to get it because it sounded really great. And then I found out that it was a series of 4 books and that the 4th book has only just come out, and they all sounded great, so I thought I'd pick up the first 2. Poison Study is about a girl named Yelena who is given the option to become a food taster for the leader of the military in exchange for her execution for murder. So she obviously picks to become the food taster, and you'd think that just having the fear of maybe being poisoned would be enough, but soon Yelena has to deal with the fact that the father of the boy she murdered wants revenge. And she is soon falling in love with her captor, and someone plans to take down the regiment. So she has a lot more to deal with than just possibly getting poisoned, and it sounds so good and I can't wait to read it. So the next 5 books I got are a little something different. They are most of the books from the OC Novelization series. So the first book is The Outsider by Cory Martin. So this follows the first, I think, 6 episodes up to the point where Marissa ODs in Tijuana. It pretty much follows the episodes exactly what you see on TV. However, there are like sub-storylines and extras that you never got to see on TV. The next book is The Misfit by Aury Wallington. I think that's how you say it. And this goes straight from when Marissa ODs to the end of season 1, and again follows all the episodes with added extras. So the third book is The Way Back, again by Cory, and this book is a little different because it looks at the gap between season 1 and 2 when Ryan is back in Chino with Teresa and Marissa is avoiding her parents and Summer's trying to forget about Seth, and Seth had sailed off to Tahiti. So it is an added bonus. You never got to saw really what happened over the summer, so this is like the space filler. The fifth book in the series is Bait and Switch, and this is a story that was never on this was a story that never featured on the show, so it is kind of outside what we got to see, but it is still canon. It is about a scavenger hunt that the gang has to compete in. The seventh book is Twas the Night Before Chrismukkah, which again is not set within the actual show storyline. It is so hard to find these books. Other than the first three books are pretty easy to find, but after that it is super hard to find the books, which is why these two are the mass-produced paperbacks. So I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to complete the series, because even when I actually find a book, it is insanely expensive. I'm not going to pay like $40 just for a book. So it is going to be a bit hard to complete this series, but I hope I do, and I can't wait to read it because I absolutely love the OC. So moving on to a little non-fiction now, and the next book I got is The King's Speech by Mark Lode and Peter Conrady. This is the book that inspired or was released alongside, I'm not entirely sure, the 2010 movie. Continuing the history theme, the next book I got is The Journals by Captain Cook, and these are the journals that Captain James Cook wrote while he was journeying around the world. I have been studying colonial Australian history, which is super interesting, and I thought this book would be great to sort of see what Captain Cook thought about when he discovered Australia. So while I probably won't be reading this book cover to cover, I will be reading excerpts here and there to get a feel of what was going on back in the 1700s. The next book is The Elements of Style by William Strunk Jr., and I wouldn't even call this a book because it's just like 2 sheets of paper nearly. This is just a writing guide that gives you tips on how to properly use punctuation and grammar, and just to help you writing. Because I'm in university, I am writing a hell of a lot of essays, so I hope this will help me and give me a little bit of a boost. And because I want to become a writer, I kind of want this to give me a little bit of help and inspiration. Moving away from novels, but still on non-fiction, I have got Super Aussie Soaps by Andrew Mercado. I think Australian drama is really great. We produce really great TV shows that I kind of wish were exported to the world a bit more. And this book looks at the soap operas that we've had, and out of this entire book, which looks at I think around 30 different soaps, only 2 of them are still airing in Australia. I am a big fan of the show Neighbours, so that's why I picked up this book, because it features in here, and I kind of want to look at some of the other soaps. I have seen a lot about some of the soaps in there, and I really wish I'd watched them, so I hope that this will just give me a bit of an insight into what some of these shows have looked at. So the final 2 books I got are actually graphic novels, kind of. They are volumes 2 and 3 of Charmed Season 9. I bet you're wondering what on earth Charmed Season 9 is. After the TV series Charmed finished in 2006, Zenescope Entertainment bought the rights to the show so that they could produce a comic book series that was released every fortnight. And that started in 2010, I think. And so then every time a story arc is finished, whether it could be like, it could encompass probably 5 comic books, they bind it into a different volume for that season. So I already owned volume 1, and I thought that was great, and it was something very different because I absolutely loved Charmed, so I finally got around to picking up volumes 2 and 3. I still have to pick up volume 4, and I'm waiting for them to release the first volume of season 10. A lot of Charm fans, I feel, don't know about these, so I'm trying to promote them because I think they're great, and if you're a really big fan of the show, you will appreciate being able to delve back into the Charmed world once again and see what they got up to after the cameras stopped rolling. So that is all the books that I picked up in March, and it is safe to say that I am giving myself a book buying ban because it is ridiculous that now I have over 27 books on my TBR pile when I already had like 27 books on my TBR pile before I started this month. So if the urge ever overcomes me in April, the only books I'm allowing myself to buy are sequels to sequels to series that I've already started and I need to finish. There are already several books on my shelf that I need to read the sequels and the sequels of sequels for. So I am not buying any more standalones or any more beginnings of new series because I need to finish older series. The only two books that I know I'm getting in April are Carrie Hope Fletcher's All I Know Now and Connor France's A Work in Progress. So I'm excited to read them when I get my hands on them. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to see more bookish goodness because I hope to be posting a few more videos over the coming weeks. In the description below I will have a link to a blog post which will go over in detail on all these books. I will also link each book to its Goodreads and book depository page so you can check them out for yourself and maybe pick them up. Other than that, make sure you follow me on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram for more bookish stuff. I'm going to be doing the April book photo challenge over on Instagram this month, so go check that out. Other than that, bye.